Hello, workplace innovators, entrepreneurs, inside innovators. You're working on modernizing some legacy systems, whether that's SharePoint or Excel or Google Sheets or some old ERP or Microsoft Access database, or even within Claris FileMaker. There can be a database that's been built a long time ago and people are trying to bring that forward. One thing that you should consider earlier in the process rather than later is data migration. It's a classic sort of scope busting, budget busting, timeline busting requirement that can sometimes get pushed later into the process, and we sort of think, okay, well, data migration then will be easy. We'll just bring along everything at the very end once we need it. And so sometimes you actually go forth and you build a system without data in it, without much data in it. You've just got some test data or some little sample data. And then it comes time to kind of more formalized waterfall user acceptance testing, and you do a pretty big manual push and you realize only then, pretty late in the process, just how difficult that is to transpose and extract and load up that data from the old legacy system into your new normalized abstracted data model. So even then, you've only just loaded in test data. If you get through user acceptance testing, then you have to go again and actually do the live data migration. So at the very least, you're gonna do it wholesale twice. In most significant initiatives, you're gonna do it a handful of times. So one thought for you would be, if you're in a position of leadership and you're overseeing these types of these projects, of these initiatives where you're modernizing, would be to try to front load your data migration as much as you can. Front load it and consider even scripting it, like fully automating it. So that way, from the start, your engineers, your teams of testers and colleagues, you're actually working with real live data. I can't tell you how many times we've heard or we've seen that, well, I could test that feature, but we've actually only just put in this new customer and these new types of contracts, and that scenario just does not exist inside of the testing environment. So consider how you can not only put data migration early, but how you can do it often. If you can automate it every night, then what that does is it forces you to address some of those downstream hardest issues about, well, how does that old data model compare to the new, and how would we like it to? And if the old system is still changing a little bit and you're trying to hit a moving target, then how can we actually create a system, a process of communication across our entire technology teams that track any of those changes, and they're going to bring those changes and acknowledge those changes and bring them forward into the new system? And lastly, how can you take your data migration and use that as a source of strength to automate not only data migration, but data archiving? How can you say, actually, this is truly in-scope data that we need, and we don't need to bring along all of that clutter? It's sort of like junk in, junk out. So it can actually be a really helpful conversation for an organization to not just have and not just put in meeting minutes or into a PowerPoint or into an Excel document, but to actually put it into code. What are we saying is the data that we really care about, that we're going to fight to bring forward from the old system to the new system? And you want that data set, of course, to be critical, but to be as small as possible. That's an idea for you. I hope it works great. Thank you.